Hello everybody, welcome back. I've been playing with the Build a Bouquet vintage petals kit from my Hubkydory Goodie box, and I thought I would show you how I've been levelling up, I guess you could say, the cards. You have to excuse me, I'm full of cold, the joys of working in a school, but I found a really nice way to put together cards using this kit, and I thought I'd share the inspiration in case it's useful to anyone. So in my goodie box I got the foiled toppers and the actual die cut pad. So today I'm going to be using this wheelbarrow one. I really like the foiled ones. They're my out and out favourites when I've been using the kit. And we're going to put a card together around this one here. So the first thing I've been doing is building the flowers, and I found a really nice way to make the flowers a little bit extra was to use the film that I bought at Stamporama in York. You might have seen the video where I bought that. So I got this from Stamp Addicts. You've got 2 sheets for £3. They're A4 self-adhesive transparent holographic sheets. It's kind of like sticker paper. They had various different designs. I got a couple of different ones. My friend has since bought a bundle on eBay for about £8 of a lot more sheets, and I found pretty much the same thing on AliExpress for cheaper as well. So there's various different ways to buy this stuff. If you don't have it, if you have it, you can use it. If you don't have it and don't want to buy it, that's fine. You can just skip this part of the tutorial or inspiration, whatever you want to call what I'm doing. But I thought I'd show you because it's really nice. So it's an A4 sheet. It's got a grid on the back, so you can easily match where your flower goes, cut it to size, and then you save on waste. So I find the easiest way to do this is to peel off the top, the sticky bit you're going to be sticking onto, basically. Excuse the state of my desk, it's absolutely grim, but I don't have much time these days. And then I'm going to stick it as close to the offcut as possible, so that I'm limiting waste. There we go. And now all I need to do is cut that out with my scissors. There we go, so that's fussy cut. The back layer just comes off and goes in the bin, and you're ready for the next step. All I will say is if you don't have this kit and you want to follow along, this would be very easy to do with your own stash. But if you have got this kit, I hope it is helpful. So now we need to build the flower. So again, I'm going to try and jazz it up a bit. I'm going to bring in some fun foam. I'm going to turn the flower over, and I'm going to use a ball tool to roll the back of the leaves. Flip it back over, roll in the middle. Hopefully not making you too dizzy. I am on a strange little table. I'll put it in my hand. Okay. I'm just going to give it some shape. Grab the neck section, do the same again. Now we're going to add the adhesive and build the flower. Then we're going to repeat that step for the other 2 pieces. So I'll be back when I've built my flower. That's my flower, all built, so pretty. So then I'm just going to add, for an extra level of prettiness, I'm going to add one of these little gems to the inside. Just put the double glue in. Excuse my hand being in the way. I've tried using tweezers and I cannot get on with them, so hand in the way it is, I'm afraid. Okay, so when the glue dries it'll be clear, But how pretty is that little flower? Right, the next thing I actually want to do is to start work on this while the flower's drying. So I'm going to use this, it says a clean colour reel brush. This is great for watercolours, painting, that kind of thing. So I got this from Sweet Poppy when I was at Stamforama. It was like £3, something like that. They weren't expensive. As someone who, I wouldn't say I'm experienced when it comes to colouring and all the different colouring mediums, I find this really helpful for my watercolouring because it just adds the right amount of water to help you do what you want to do. So I'm going to use these. These are new to me. Excuse the rustling. I bought these from, what do you say, Shein or AliExpress. Anyway, it's one of the Chinese sites. These are beautiful. So they come out quite opaque. And they have a bit of a sheen to them, as you can probably see. And I just think with the foil, they work really nicely. So I'm just trying to look to see if there is one that's maybe brown. Let's have a look in this palette. I'm thinking maybe that one there. We'll give it a go. Because I just want to colour the wheelbarrow in, basically. Let's see what this comes out like. Oh, it's a bit purple. Well, we're going to go with it, because it didn't look purple, but anyway. Isn't that so pretty? So I'll colour that off of camera now you see what I'm doing, and then I'll come back. So you can see I've now coloured that in. I've not worried too much about shading because obviously we're adding flowers over the top of this. But what I am going to do is I'm going to grab something a bit darker. I'm going to put almost a shadow in underneath. So I'm going to use this silver over here. Okay, so this dark silver here is all we're going to go for. And we're just going to put a really light shadow line under here. It's just going to ground the image a bit. Now I'm coming down into the lighter one a little bit. And then with the lighter one, I'm also going to go between the tyre spokes. Is that what you call them? Anyway, just going to put some of the silver in between there. Like that. See, very rough and ready, but you know, it's fine. Let's get the dark one and we'll go in there as well. It's just play until you're happy, really. Okay, I think I'm done there. So now we're going to put the flowers in place. So these are the ones I've made earlier. This one's still drying, but we can work with it. Just put these kind of like that. I like to work in threes. I think it looks nicer. So then I'm just going to grab the glue and dot those in place. There we go. Now I feel like we need to get some greenery from the book. So let's bring the pad back in and see what I have. Okay, so this is what we have to work with. I'm going to go with this big one here. So I feel like we'll put that one maybe up there. And we'll go with this one. Maybe have that one coming over there. I've got one that's slightly outshot the camera, but I'm going to pop it off and then show you. So I have this, which is like a jewel leaf, and it's got a bit of shadow. So I'm wondering whether we can just kind of slot that up in there. Maybe, again, it's out of shot, we've got a little green one. We're just going to fit them in here and there, really. I mean, this one's really cute. This one looks like a little heart. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I don't think we use that. Right. So on the first one I did, I actually shaped the leaves. I'm not going to do that this time. This time I'm just going to glue them in place. So I'll do that and then come back. That's all stuck down and drying. And you could just leave it like that and just put a sentiment on and it would be fine and it would be lovely. But for me, personally, there's a bit too much white. I wouldn't call this a clean and simple card based on all the colour on the flowers and stuff. But that's just my preference. So I'm going to show you what I do next. And again, this is just going to step it up that extra level. So I'm going to grab a stencil. This is just one from my stash. And I've tried to match the ink I'm using to the flowers a bit. So I've got this Memento ink. This is Sweet Plum. So it kind of matches. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a baby wipe, a dried out baby wipe, to apply the ink, because you can have more control over how you deliver the ink if you do it with the baby wipe. I'm going to tap off some excess onto my mat. And then I'm not going to stencil all of the white. I'm just going to kind of give a hint of the stencil, if that makes sense. Okay, so I think you can kind of see what I've done. I haven't stenciled the whole image. I've just added like a hint of what is there. I've done it everywhere there's white space. I've left white space. I've just gone till I'm kind of happy. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just whatever you think, really. So now I need to find a sentiment for the card. So I've kind of tried again to match the colours with what I've got. And I'm wondering about coming across the top, if I'm honest. I quite like that one. And that will cut down quite nicely. I have got just, that's quite big, so probably won't use that. That's not bad. Because what I did before was I used some, these are Hubkydory, and I have a pot of leftover sentiments and stuff from where I've used up kits and maybe not used everything, and I put everything in the pot so that if I'm ever doing anything like this where I need a sentiment, I can just go to it, grab the sentiment, bang, done. And what I did before was I cut off all the gold mirror and used that. I'll just show you, I've got it just here. So how lovely does that look? I was really pleased with that. But I'm kind of liking today the Miss You. I think that's quite sweet. So I might use that. Could I put that down there? That's a bit much, isn't it? Right, maybe the Miss You up there. So I think I'm going to put that up there. I'm going to put it on with foam pads. So just grab a foam pad and put that one on. There we go. That's going straight over the top. There we go. Now what I need to do is grab some cardstock that kind of matches these colours. So I'm going to go looking for maybe a lilac or lavender colour cardstock. I'm actually wondering about this. This was in my Hubkydory Goodie box as well. It was in this card pack. I think that will look quite nice. So I'm going to cut this one down. This one is about 5.5, so I'm going to cut this to maybe 5 3/4, 5 7/8, something like that, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I did actually cut the purple to 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. Before I put this onto the purple cardstock, there's one more step I want to do. I've grabbed a foam blending tool, and I'm going to use the same ink I used before. I'm going to use the Sweet Plum, and I'm going to ink this up. And I'm just going to start by going around the edges and laying down the purple very carefully around the edges. So we've got a nice line of purple on the edge of the cardstock. So I really like how the edged looks, if that makes sense. And tap off some of the ink onto my my mat. And then I'm going to grab that baby white back again. Right, and then very carefully I'm going to pick up a small amount of this ink. And I'm just going to rub around the edges. I'm just going to try and fill in very carefully some of the white just with purple ink, just to bring it all together. There you go, it's very subtle, but it looks so pretty. And then we can put this on here, and it just brings the whole thing together. I don't think I've got great light, so it's probably not doing much for the overall look, but honestly up close it looks so pretty. So let's get that on, and then we can put it on our card base. So I've grabbed a 6x6 card blank, and I'm now going to mat that onto the front of my card blank. Just when you think that I must be done, and I throw one more step at you, but this is a quick one, I promise. So I've got a jelly roll pen, and I'm just going to add some really quick light and shadow onto the leaves, just to give the leaves something a little bit extra as well, because I don't want the leaves being left out. So there we go. And then if you wanted to, you could add dots or what have you, but I think that on its own is fine. I think it's super pretty. So I hope you have enjoyed the video. As I say, if you don't have this kit, this would be very easy to do using just a stamp, maybe some embossing powder to get the maybe a bit more detail standing out, and then die cut your own flowers from from your own stash. Or if you've got this kit, hopefully it's given you some ideas of how to step up the cards each time. You can pick and choose which steps you follow. You might like some, you might not like others. I'm also quite tempted to grab the glossy accents and just add droplets on the leaves. Maybe I'll do that next time. There's just so many things you can do with this kit. It's a really nice kit. I really like it. But that's my card for today. So I hope this video has been useful to somebody. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be back soon with more videos. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.